So I finally figured out what's causing a couple problems in my house. I got a new furnace installed about 4 or 5 years ago, and the inlet pipe is drawing air from the basement. It was never ducted outside, which I never thought anything of it. It was installed by a professional, and I never think anything of it. I figured everything's fine. But I have noticed whenever you want to go outside, if the furnace is running, when you go to shut the door, it doesn't want to shut. It kind of almost pulls open. You can just kind of give it a little swing and it pulls back open. Never thought anything of it. Thought maybe my hinges were off or something like that. We'll have two doors like that go outside. And what really has caused me to investigate this is we're remodeling our kitchen. I've pulled away some of the drywall from the walls, and where your receptacles are and your toggle switches, all the insulation around the box is dirty. When we pulled drywall away, we originally thought, oh, look at all that mold. Well, looking along the wall, it's only where the outlet boxes are. Now, through some investigation through the last couple weeks, I figured out that, like in the winter when your house is all totally enclosed, and you're not opening and closing doors and the air is moving, the furnace is running a lot and it needs to draw air through this inlet combustion chamber. Well, what happens is it starts sucking air from anywhere it can get it. So it's going to pull air through any little door crack, window crack, your outlet boxes where the wires go up into the attic. It's going to suck air from anywhere it can get. So what led me to kind of investigate this is a friend is getting a new furnace. I think it was installed last week. And he told me, yeah, the installer said he's got to run two PVC pipes going outside of his house, and he didn't really care for drilling some holes in his house to run the pipes out. And I said, well, mine only has one, and it's going outside, and the other one is drawing air from the basement. So just hook it up like that. So he mentioned this to his installer, and the installer said, for this area, it's not code to have that vented outside, your inlet. However, it's going to cause problems in your home. First and foremost, now this is a 95 efficiency furnace. He said you're going to lose 3 to 5% in efficiency of your furnace if you're not drawing cold air from outside the home. Second, it's going to create a vacuum in your home, and it's going to pull your doors away from the seals. So instead of a door that's shutting, being nice and tight, it's actually going to create a vacuum in the home and pull things away from seals. It's going to pull dirt from the outside of the house into the house, which is exactly what I'm experiencing. It's going to create a negative air pressure in the home. So with all that being said, over the last couple of weeks, I figured I'm going to run this inlet pipe outside myself. I'm going to show you what I got going on here. What the main purpose of this video is, if you have yours just drawing air from your basement, you might want to run it outside the way it should be. Whether it's code or not, it's going to be better for your health, better for your home, and you should save some money. So let's take a look and see what I've got. So there's the furnace, the Train XV95. And if you come up here along the front, by the way, this has been a great furnace. I've never had any problem with it. I've never even had it maintenanced or serviced or anything, and works perfect. So this one here is your exhaust. So if you follow that up, it kind of makes a little bit of a bend there, comes over, up, and then straight out the roof. Now here is the inlet. Now mind you, the inlet, all this piping here was not there. It was just an inlet there, nothing on top. I've put this in within the last about half hour. It's 2-inch PVC. Brought it up there. We've got a 90 coming over. Kind of tried to follow this here, and then brought it all the way up to the floor joist, bringing it over this way, and then I'm going to run it down this wall because the furnace is kind of in the center of the house. I need about a 10-foot run here, and then I'm going to have to drill a hole up there in my rim joist 2 3/8 or 2 5/8 hole, and then I'm going to get the pipe outside so that it's pulling in cold air. Now, there's one more cool thing I want to show you, and it is this right here. This is going to go on the end of the pipe that's going to be outside, and what this is going to do is it's going to prevent any animals, spiders, insects, anything from crawling back into that tube. Now, the only other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of angle it downward as soon as it goes through the wood. That way, if there's any rain, it shouldn't get back into that inlet. Alright guys, I got the inlet all done. I'll show you guys what it looks like, what I used. Now, granted, all the white PVC is all what I've done. There was nothing there before. So it comes up over and then follows along my floor joist. Comes down here to the end of this stair wall. And then I cut over. You can see right there. And then I had to come up a little bit to get out of that rim joist. And then drilled through right there. Kind of about in the center between the floor joists. And as you can see, the sealant is on there. It's all sealed up. I have the animal trap on the outside. And it took me about an hour. I could see why the installer didn't want to do it, because it was kind of a pain in the butt. And I'll show you here what I used. 2 3/8 hole saw. And here's the arbor. Bought all that at Menards. I think it was maybe 15 bucks or something. Look how much wood I had to drill through. This was the last piece I took out. I gotta knock this out of here yet, but that's a good 1.5 inches, if not more thick. And then this little 1/2 inch puck was in there. And then this one also. So all together, that wood, a couple layers of wood there, it's pretty darn thick. I actually drilled through fairly easily, but it's all done. Hopefully you found this video informative. I'm hoping to save a little bit of money on my electric bill, which when I did put this furnace in, it dropped quite a bit. And I'm hoping that with putting this to the outside, it's going to drop even more. And I hope you enjoyed the animal, I think it's called an animal protectant cap. I picked that up at Menards. It was like $3 or something like that. And I thank you for watching the video.